O light! Come forth, O light!
My child!
Oh! You have come at last.
Who is this man?
He is the deliverer. Many years I have waited for him.
What?
Quick! Help me dream my child away from death!
Let us proceed with the ritual. Bring me the cauldron. I am the master of secret things. The form of the soul that rests in the heavens. I am servant to the great god, who gives light. Sothis, reveal yourself here today and answer me without falsehood. Let your eyes be opened. Devoid of moisture, come forth from the stream. Sothis, let their eyes be opened.
Let your eyes be opened!
Then we got clear. What is this god's forsaken place? I must keep moving, or be swallowed by the desert. That shadow, that is the Soul Eater. O you doorkeepers who guard your portals, who swallow souls and who gulp down the corpses of the dead. What a journey I have made, the things I have seen. I am but one of you. Anubis, Lord of the Dead. Did that crazy old fool poison me? Ah! Poison. I am he who drives off the destructive one. So Apep can be hurt. You will not devour my heart! Ra, protect me! I take the bow. I sweep the sky with it. I am he who drives off the destructive one. I am he who knots the cord and lashes the shrine together. He's weakening. I take the bow. I sweep the sky with it. Drives off the destructive one. Ah, doesn't it? I am the great one within his eye. Return to the Chaos Sea. Not my time yet! I have to tear the dwarf apart. I need to get to solid ground. I will not go into the Valley of Darkness. You will feel the Sun God's wrath. I need to get to solid ground. You will not claim me, destructive! I will destroy you! Die, Soul Eater!
I shall pin a scorpion with my bow. Will you teach me to hunt?
They are returned, safe from him who would close their eyes in darkness.
My child lives.
Praise to the gods.
What do you see?
Your enemy and hers are the same. Refuse. The temple food, he who prepares it, poisons your womb with flesh of the dead. Go and slay the poisoner, and lift Memphis out of evil.
Praise to him who will deliver us all.
Out of everything that Assassin's Creed Origins tried to do, this was the one thing, the main thing that I remembered when I was going back to redo this series for this video was the fight with Apep the Snake, one of the many gods that Bayek, well, knows exists. He doesn't actually worship this one, and in a polytheistic world, it kind of makes more sense than it does now, that there would be 7 gods that you would accept as existing, but don't actually worship to the point of being your main person. In this world, though, Apep is not what we consider a god today, and is instead a giant snake that is coming to kill Bayek. You may be asking yourself why this happened in the first place, and that's because, just like with the boss fight of Taharka, Bayek confirms his status as the most easily poisoned protagonist in video game history. This entire boss fight happened because it was a flashback Bayek was having after being fed some ancient vision-having drugs from a local priest who was trying to conduct a fertility ceremony in a place that is completely cursed with the dying of the local god who is an Apep. Trust me, it makes a lot more sense in context. The Apep boss fight is incredibly interesting, mostly from the premise alone, because it actually has amazing design and a good premise. Ubisoft actually put the effort in on this one to make something fantastical, and just like the Tyranny of King Washington, it works very well because it's just so out of the box. And this is a thing I bring up in a lot of video games that end up getting good reviews, is that variety is the spice of life, and the unfortunate thing in most of Ubisoft's games is that they boil down to repetitive nonsense. It gets really boring to do the same thing over and over again, and Ubisoft's attempts to falsify variety by only making slight detail changes, but at the core doing the same thing over and over and over again, exemplified by Assassin's Creed Origins with its Assassin's Creed the original game's hit list plot being redone for no reason. Apep is the most interesting thing that the game has going for it, other than the Battle of the Nile later down the line. Because you are fighting it in a void hellscape, you are fighting a boss who definitely has the ability to kill you, and has interesting gameplay because Apep can hide everywhere. He's very fast and hard to peg down, which is a good thing because the game gives you infinite ammo for this boss fight through the golden arrows that you were provided by your spirit animal, is what I can presume. Unfortunately for the boss fight, the gameplay itself gets, again, repetitive and dull after a while because it is basically just doing archery for 4 minutes straight. It doesn't evolve, it doesn't really do much. Apep does start taking out the arena over the course of the fight like, you usually do, but that's about it. Apep doesn't gain any new attacks, doesn't really change up its behavior, and just like Callus said, potential gets completely shit over because Ubisoft doesn't really know how to design a boss fight. Bloodlines, the game in the franchise that had the best boss fights in any of the Assassin's Creed games, wasn't even mainly developed by Ubisoft themselves, which was a good thing because Bloodlines was still an incredibly badly programmed portable game. But unfortunately, this is the only time in the game that something like this happens, and it just boils down later to kill the bad dude over and over again. We labeled one of the incredibly generic NPCs in the game as the target. We're just expecting you to deal with them, on your own time. Also, we surrounded them by 10 guards because fuck you. It really is a shame that this, and we're only about 1/3 of the way through this series, is the most interesting thing in the game that we're going to see. Ultimately, it's completely meaningless. I mean, it's a nice show of spectacle, but I would have liked to see this carried on into other parts of the game, rather than just being the one set piece that Ubisoft had a lot of fun with. Like, again, this is ancient Egypt, and since you're not really doing the historical thing, Ubisoft, you can fudge the non-fiction a bit, bend it a little with your precursor nonsense, add some of that in, and then make it slightly fantastical. We don't need you to go, full overboard sci-fi on us, but you need to start thinking out of the box, because otherwise, this live services period might be lucrative for the moment, but it is going to damage your IP's value over time if all you're going to be doing is Uteros, Medunamin, Taharka, and so many others in this game that it's not even frickin' funny. Just kind of a shame, really.